Okay, my hands are literally sweating right now. Like,
it was crazy.
Look at that.
Yeah. When she was sending me those videos, I'm like, well, FOMO is gone. All gone. I'm no longer afraid of missing out.
You're listening to the Calm, the Storm,
the Whimsy
podcast. That's how we started.
She just started an engine.
I had to turn my heated vest on because tomorrow morning it is supposed to be negative 25 wind chill here in Ohio. This is why I need to get the heck out of here in these stupid months. And the day I come back is the day that it's the coldest day of the year.
God's building character.
He's like, I told you so. You leave when it's nice here. You come back and it's cold.
We have so many exciting stories to tell you about trips around the world. You know, because Kelly and Crystal both like to freaking leave me here. And they thought it'd be a good idea to talk about my loneliness this episode. So let us begin.
Tell us.
Well, I'm not starting.
Well, you were alone.
I was alone.
You said you were talking about your loneliness
I
this
just meant
episode.
this whole episode is about your adventures.
Oh.
And my loneliness.
We tried to include you as much as possible.
You both invited me, actually.
True.
And I had some serious FOMO for a minute. And eventually you'll find out why my FOMO went away. But I was at home, stuck in my house from snow and cold weather, snow day after snow day after snow day, with 5 children. Like, I think that's the only story I have.
And they still haven't gone back to school.
They still have not. They don't go back until hopefully Thursday. So who wants to start? Tell us about why you left me, Crystal.
Sure. Well, is that your wheezing?
You're like,
What? I don't have any water. Can you give me some?
I'll
yours?
share some.
Thank you. Just a little. There we go. Why am I wheezing? Because it's
It's your
negative
nose.
25.
I don't think your nose needs water, but okay.
I don't think you wheeze through your nose.
What? I'm not wheezing.
Oh, I don't know. Where
Am I
do you
wheezing?
wheeze from?
Is that a wheeze?
I think it was just your nose. Oh.
It's a lot of hot breath there. Okay, so I left on Wednesday. Oh, no, Tuesday night at like 10 o'clock. So we had like a red eye into Orlando, Florida. And I left to go to Podfest, where podcasters gather and learn how to grow and to
Go viral like George Bush.
yeah, trying to go viral. Like, come on, seriously. What does it take? Like George Bush. Yeah.
Did they
Those
tell you the secret
eyebrows.
to go viral?
No.
Oh.
I mean, there's lots of secrets to going viral. I think that, so it was interesting to me, most of the podcasters that were there have a business. And so then that business has a podcast to advertise for their business. And the interesting thing is that most of them are introverts. And so it was really difficult for an extrovert to be around a lot of introverts. And I didn't know that. I guess I didn't expect that. So our podcast is an entertainment podcast. So we're comedy and we're 3 people, which is also something that's very unique. So most of the people who asked me about my podcast and were really shocked that we have a 3-host podcast, but I was very eager to tell them that we don't have guests and we don't show up on shows. And I was encouraged to reach out to other podcast shows to be on them. Oh. And that's a thing. And I was like, okay, like I didn't know that. Like, doesn't mean that we have to have a guest on our podcast, but we could be a guest on a podcast. Kelly's freezing. She literally just put her gloves on, and we know that her heated vest is on. So, yay. She's probably sleeping it tonight.
Freezing, yeah.
I'm going to give that to one of your chickens.
Oh.
It's going to be too cold for them, Kelly.
Crystal.
Okay.
Why would you say that?
Why did
I'm
you
just
go
saying.
there?
I don't know.
Crystal, you'll...
Help!
That was
I'm so sorry. That was so off track. Anyways, we got into Orlando at 1:39 a.m. and we rented a Tesla.
Oh.
And I can tell you that we sat in this Tesla, which felt like forever, but I think it was only 10 minutes before we could figure out how to turn it on. There was no instructions.
Did you
Googled
YouTube it?
We couldn't figure it out. It was the strangest thing ever, and it literally was like a bump up of where you would think the windshield wipers would be. So like that little lever on
Oh.
the side was the well, it's not an ignition because there's no gas and
So
no
you don't,
engine.
You
So
don't say like, Tesla, turn on.
no, but there's no key either. It's like this little puck thing that like you just have in your car, and you activate it via an app on your phone.
Oh.
What?
That's how you lock it. That's how you... I mean, you could do everything from the app. It's the strangest thing. So anyways, once we figured out how to put it in reverse and to drive out of the parking deck, we proceeded to try to drive it self-driving, which we couldn't do because you have to do that while you're parked to start it, I guess. So it was crazy, but it was an experience, I'll tell you that.
I thought it was
So-
self-driving.
That was later on, the next day. That night was not. And let me tell you, it goes from 0 to 95 real quick. Like, put us all back into our seats.
Did your kids love it?
My kids loved it. Aaron was loving it. He's like, I need one of these now. And I'm like,
Oh, jeez.
oh, geez. So,
Okay, but how does the electric part work? Like when you need gas
so we did.
or recharged?
We charged it once. And that was a whole another situation because while I was getting charged up, there was a whole bunch of things happening in the parking lot. And I was like, what is happening right now? I pretty much watched a drug deal, prostitution, something happen like right in front of us. And I was like, Aaron, this is not okay. And he's like, I think this is normal. Everybody else is just like,
You're like, charge
watching it.
faster,
I'm like,
charge faster. Come on,
oh my gosh.
go.
So
How long do they take to charge?
it took us like 30 minutes and we charged it from like 45 to 100.
Oh.
And it was only like $9.
You know what's really cool? When you go to the gas station and you put your card in and you put the gas pump in the car and you can fill it up in like 2 minutes
Yeah,
and
it
be
was-
full and take off.
It was crazy. We ate gummy bears and Aaron drank a Red Bull and we were like, okay, so we're just, and then, on the screen in the front, we played solitaire, like
Oh, that's
while we waited.
safe. Oh, okay.
While we waited.
So I have to say something about a Tesla real quick. Or are there other cars that you can
Electric.
charge?
Mhm, yeah.
Okay. So I know I'm ridiculous.
Wait, her glasses are fogging up. Why?
Because I went.
Yeah, because she's making fun of me. Listen, we all know how I am with cars.
You just said hi and your thing is, listen, hi.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Wait till
No.
you listen back. We both heard
Aaron,
it.
don't remove that.
Listen, hi.
No, I said, listen, me, myself and I. We all know that I know nothing about cars, so don't make fun of me that I don't know about the charger cars. So listen.
It's okay. I say Dubay, so.
My husband has contract employees that travel for him, and one of them got a charger car and like ran out of charge and got stranded.
Wait, what?
And he's like, why the heck did you pick that kind of car? But I would never be okay in a car like that
No, you would not.
because there's not charging stations everywhere.
But the app, there are actually. So it's really weird. The app told us, like, when we put in on the Tesla app that we needed to charge, like a whole bunch of them came up in different areas. So you can choose. So I think that there's a lot more than we realize. It's not just going to be at your regular gas station, although this was at a regular gas station. And there was
Weird.
like 25 Teslas all parked along this.
And the other
side.
unfortunate thing is, if you run out of charge, you can't like walk down the street
And
fill up
charge.
your gas tank and bring it back. It's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
It was a fun experience. For
I
sure.
bet.
I'll
So-
tell some other things later
About that.
about the car. Do you want me to talk
Yeah.
about the
Well,
car now?
I want to know more about
Okay.
him letting it drive for him.
Yes.
Like, he liked the car.
he liked the car. He loved that it drove for him.
So
Yeah.
weird to me.
I know. He likes to be in control.
Yeah.
But yet and it was weird because he was like, where do I put my hands? Like, what do I do? Like,
Do you think that would last for him, though? Somebody else, like the car driving for him all the time?
I do.
Huh.
So the interesting thing is that this specific car was not navigation. So it like wasn't full driving. So it was like gas and steering wheel driving. Or gas pedal. It's not the gas pedal. I don't know what the pedal. What is the pedal? There's no gas. So
The power pedal.
power pedal. The power pedal on the Tesla. It's really weird. I don't know where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought.
You think he would like it?
Oh, I do. And the reason is because number one, he drives with his shoes off.
Yeah, Tori talks about that all the time.
And number two,
What about in super
his
cold
legs they won't get like fall asleep like in that
position?
position. But so it was essentially
Did you know he drove barefoot?
No, and I don't know what position he's in when he's driving. What position? Just sitting down?
Like keeping your
well,
legs
like he drives a lot. So his legs like
on the pedal?
yeah.
Oh,
He doesn't
okay.
like so he
I'm
uses
thinking
cruise
of-
control
know
all
what
the
I'm
time.
thinking.
So
I'm
most
like,
of
where
the
are his
time
legs?
He's in doggy style position now because he doesn't have to put his hands or his feet on the pedal. So he's like,
my
I'm going
gosh.
to try it all.
I was thinking maybe he had a foot up on his lap, like his legs crossed.
No. So he does not like to use the pedals at all. He likes cruise control. And so this was like essentially cruise control
Yeah.
because he can remove his feet from the pedals, but then like his hands didn't have to steer.
That's so crazy.
So you have to like, it will like beep at you. I don't even think it beeped. It just came up on the screen like to make sure you were still paying attention. So like he had to like grab the wheel just on the sides of it to make it know that you were there, that you were paying attention. Because if not, it'll automatically kick itself out of self-driving so that it doesn't think that you're like on your phone the whole time. Like he wasn't even on his phone. It's weird because I'm not sure what you would do because I still feel like you need to know what traffic's doing, except for it stops when the person in front of you stops.
That's so weird.
We were going
So
like,
what if you fall asleep and it kicks you out of self-drive? You just wreck?
I think it
Beeps.
but I don't. I
I'm
think
sure
it
there's some
beeps
kind of an
when you
alarm.
go out. We got beeped at a lot.
Okay.
And so like if you change a lane without your turn signal on, it beeps at you.
Oh.
And so like it was beeping at us and we were like, what? Why is it beeping at us?
Shouldn't it turn its own turn signal on?
So weird. No, because it wasn't self-navigating. So you couldn't turn. You couldn't go into a different lane. You could only stay in between the yellow lines to go straight. So like on our regular roads, on our back roads around here or whatever, don't have lines. So you can't self-drive on those roads.
Okay.
So it's more of like a highway or like where there's lines. Like Arlington would be fine, things like that, but not any of the back residential roads that don't have lines in the middle. But we were going like 70 miles an hour on like a highway. So it's not a freeway, but like a highway where it has lights every once in a while. 70 miles an hour. My dad was in front of us and he's like, let's see what this does. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm like sitting there and I'm freaking out because I'm like, this is not going to stop. Like, this is our first time figuring this out. It's so weird. And sure enough, my dad braked and it started slowing down. It does not slow down the way that like a human would slow down. So we would brake way like back further and it feels like you are just going to crash into this person. But then all of a sudden it's like, whoop, and it just stops.
That's so weird.
And then as soon as the person in front of you goes, it goes.
I have way too many trust issues for that.
It was insane. It was fun. Also it has regenerated braking, which was really weird. So when you pull your foot off of the pedal it stops. You don't have to brake. So the brake's just for an emergency.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's bizarre.
I mean, it's kind of like a Power Wheel,
yeah.
essentially.
Charger car.
A charger car.
Okay, before Kelly tells the story about her trip,
Yes.
didn't something happen with you and your mother in the Tesla?
Yes.
Was it just you two?
Aaron was in the back seat.
And
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
a little upset with him.
Yeah. So
He should have
He should have recorded this.
Oh.
And I asked him later, I was like, did you record that? And he was like, no. And he was like, I'm kicking myself because this would have been
Oh my gosh.
an awesome video. And he didn't. But I was videoing him the whole time. And you girls have got me all into these videos now. And so I got my phone out all the time. I'm videoing, taking pictures. And he's like, usually the one who's doing all that. And he didn't even take a video. But I can tell you that he had his glasses off of his face and was basically crying, laughing at us. Okay? So I'm in the driver's seat. And I wanted to take my mom around the block. And in their 55 and older community, they have like a 3-mile big circle that goes around, and then like all of the houses are on the outside of the circle. So it's 30 miles an hour, I believe, is the speed limit. And Aaron set it for 35. I did not know this at the time. Okay? Set it at 35. 5 over was what he said it for. He didn't set it for 35. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So we get out on the main road in their community, and he was like, okay, so you just have to hit this button and then it will go into self-driving. And I was like, okay. So I did that, and we're going along and everything's fine until it doesn't brake going around a curve. Okay, so we're going 35 miles an hour around this curve.
Oh my goodness.
My hands are off the wheel. I wish they're up like this, like freaking out. My mom is screaming like, oh my gosh, you have to stop. You have to stop. And I was like, no, we have to see what's happening. So I grab her arm instead of the steering wheel to think about like, oh, I should probably grab the steering wheel. Nope. I grab her arm. We're screaming. We go around this curve 35 miles an hour. And I'm like, oh my gosh. She's screaming. She was like, why is this zooming? Why is it not stopping?
Zooming.
It was amazing. I tried to get her to reenact it, and she was like, it was at night, and I told her that I wanted to take a video of her reenacting our experience, and she was like, oh, okay. And she's like, you're not going to take a picture of me, are you? And I'm like, I'm going to take a video of you. And she was like, oh, no. She's like, you're not going to take a video of me. I'm in my pajamas. And I'm like, well, no, that's the idea. Like, I need a video of you. So no video of us, but it was hilarious. Like,
Wow.
screaming. She's like, why is this zooming?
That's crazy.
But, and again, Aaron's in the back with his glasses off, dying. I mean, laughing so hard.
Oh my goodness.
Funny.
So, yes.
So I left Wednesday morning. Carly picked me up at 4:30.
This was Carly's birthday that you went for.
Carly's 40th birthday bash.
Who is a friend of yours
Yes,
from?
she is a friend of mine that I've known. She was actually at my bachelorette party, which is crazy. But I met her through my friend Kim, who I went to college with, and we went on her cruise last January.
The Santa Cruz.
The Santa Cruz. So anyway, Carly's birthday, she's like, we're going to Sedona, let's go. So there was 7 of us. So Kim and Stacy came from Florida. The rest of us came from Ohio, and we met in Phoenix at the airport.
Are these the same 7 that were on the Santa Cruz?
There was 6 of us.
Okay.
So Carly added her sister-in-law, Melissa.
Gotcha.
Who I adore. She's
Okay.
amazing. So she was a great addition to the trip. But anyway, we go to get our rental car. Are you ready for this?
I am.
Are you ready to hear what we cruised around in, us
Oh my
middle-aged women?
gosh.
A 2017 Dodge Caravan. Woo!
What's different from your everyday?
I know.
I'm just kidding, but hey,
was so
you had to
funny.
get everybody in there.
The cool thing is I knew all the buttons. I'm like, oh, do this. Do this.
Right?
Oh, that's this. Oh, the engine light. Those come on all the time. No worries.
It's fine.
So Kim had rented a newer van through Turo.
Okay.
which is like you rent people's personal cars. And she had to cancel it like a few days before the trip. She's had it booked forever, but the lady who owned the van had to cancel it.
Oh, I
So
didn't
Kim
know
had-
you could rent other people's
Yeah,
vehicles.
it's called
Never heard of
Turo.
that.
Oh, like Airbnb for
Yeah.
housing and then
Yeah.
like cars.
So we get this van. Luckily, she got this van, but it was just funny how that all
Was it
worked
someone
out.
else's car or was it a rental?
It was somebody else's car
okay.
that we rented.
So
it was
okay.
a Turo, yeah. There's like an app. But anyway, so we drove that to Scottsdale. We stayed there for a night at this awesome Airbnb with a pool, which was way too cold, and a hot tub. But we got up so early, we were just all tired. By the time we went to dinner, we're pretty toast. So we went to bed. I'm trying to think all of the things. Hillary sends a package that she wants me to open in front of all my friends. Now, mind you, I have a carry-on that's like the size of my left toe, and I have to try to fit my clothes in there for 5 days in the cold mountains of Arizona.
How did
in a
you
backpack.
decide what you were going to pack? Because I know you.
Yeah, it was
The
hard.
decisions are
Did you end
rough.
up wearing your boots on the plane?
No.
Oh.
And my hiking boots took up like half of my carry-on.
So
that I
that
was
and the
allowed.
gift is all you took.
Oh,
So I literally just wore my boots and a muumuu the whole weekend. No, I'm just kidding. So I open up this present and it's this big, huge muumuu. And I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with this? But it was funny.
Oh, wait, but didn't they get moo-moos at the
Yeah.
last
But
one?
they bought us muumuus
Oh.
that matched. But anyway, Carly forgot hers. So she was like, ooh, that looks comfy. So she wore that with pride. Like
Oh my
She
gosh.
looked super cute in it.
She did. Somebody's like, you look like your grandma. It was pretty cool.
I
So
don't think I could wear a moo-moo to bed.
I was
It
so
would be like
proud
all
of
the
that
way up at my
moo-moo.
neck.
it's cozy. I have it. I got it. I had to
Wait.
sit on my suitcase to get it back home.
Is it like flannel or something?
It's like an old lady nightgown.
knit.
Well, I
Yeah.
know, but I was just curious if you were
We'll
going to
share
wear it
some
tonight
pictures.
when you're freezing with your vest on.
And her electric blanket,
Yeah.
her moo-moo.
Oh, while she's being strangled by it.
Yeah.
So we go on this trip and we each have a day to plan. Like they grouped us up into days. Like you plan this day, you plan this day, you plan this day. So my sister and I were on like the last day.
Okay.
And there's so many hikes and there's so much to do. It's just hard to like pick, like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to eat? And all this stuff. But
So when you say plan the day, like that's part of your planning?
Yeah.
The food and everything
Yeah.
that's happening for that whole day.
Kind of fun.
That is fun. I like that.
That was fun. So anyway, we get up, head to Sedona, which was like it was like a 25-hour drive with these ladies. I'm just kidding. Because we
Felt
made
like
a
it.
lot of stops, but we stopped and hiked this hike. No, Carly's she's adventurous. She's in shape. Like she cold plunges every morning. She does all the things. So she's like, let's do this. And I'm like, all right, I'm there. Oh, it's not a long hike. We just go through this path and then you see the hieroglyphics and then you turn around. I'm like, okay, I don't need water for this. I don't need to take my water. Are we ever going to get to the end? There was a man with a jug of water.
I'm
and I'm like,
surprised you
I
didn't
wonder
take
if
water. You always have water.
I said, could I Venmo him? And they're like, Kelly, stop. I'm like, but if I could just take a swig and send him Venmo.
Be like, we'll just dump it in my mouth. It'll be fine. It's fine. I don't have any diseases.
It was probably 1.5 miles back. So it got a little crazy at the end. But it's like you're climbing elevation though. It's not like
right. It's not
flat.
like a flat
No.
mile.
It was like climbing up the elevation. It was pretty flat, but it was going up.
And this was your first hike of the week.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You just got there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and then we get back in the car. We go to a pie place along the road because Tiffany makes pies. We wanted to do that. And then I'm trying to think.
Did you eat pie?
We did eat pie.
Okay.
It was good. Where did we go from there? Oh, that's right. So then we get to our Sedona house and it's absolutely stunning. And when you're pulling into Sedona, like me and my little shelter, like I go to these 3 places on vacation. I felt like I was like going into Galaxy's Edge, like at Disney. Cause it was like everywhere I turned, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was beautiful. Like you drive in,
Aw.
everything's brown and then you see Sedona and it's like all red. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
So anyway, we get in there and we get in this really cool house that was like real retro, like really awesome house. It had like parquet floors.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that what it's called?
I've
Like
like
the,
them.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I've always wanted
Super cool.
parquet floors.
So that was super fun.
I'm not sure I still know what that is.
Yeah, what's a
but-
parquet floor?
Let me make sure that's what it's called.
She's like, like
Just
this.
Look it up.
Yeah, like this. I don't
Parquet.
even know how to spell that.
Oh my.
You can't tell me about a
Parquet.
parquet.
So, I mean, if you say parquet,
Oh.
that's like park.
Oh, just like wood.
Oh.
But it's like
But it was
goes
wood,
different
or was
ways.
it-
No,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
it was
yep.
super cool. The
Okay.
couch that was in there was this big round, like half of a circle couch, and it was like a over $20,000 couch. It was
Oh my
nuts.
gosh, did you sit on it?
Yeah, we did, but they said if you scratch it, you have to like replace it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, there was these like wild pigs called javelinas that walked around. Super crazy.
What?
Yeah. Carly was going to have her like protein drinks shipped to the house, and the owner goes, well, the javelinas will get it. Let me just ship it to my house and I'll take it over.
Oh,
The pigs will just eat it. What?
that's amazing.
Oh, I don't think I could go there.
So Carly kept talking about this hike, and she's like, oh man, the views are epic. Like they are epic, but it's pretty intense. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like I can do an intense hike. But she knew that a lot of the ladies that were with us wouldn't go. So my first idea was, let's do that on the morning before we fly out. That'd be perfect. And then we decided to do it on Christy and I's day. Like, we'll just do that. We'll go see the sunrise. We'll drop off who doesn't want to go. And then we'll go to this other place. So that was our plan for that day. But the day before, I don't know whose, I think it was Kim's plan. And Stacy, we are going to see the sunrise. So we get up. It's pitch black. We get out of the van. It's pitch black. We start hiking up a mountain. It was called Doe Mountain. You can't see anything. So you have a light and you're like walking over rocks, and then it gets crazy. Like, I don't understand how people just do this. They just walk up these mountains. There's like a cliff on the side and it's pitch black.
I mean, you make one wrong step and you're a goner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Carly's like, oh, it's not that far up. It's an easy hike. So it was all right. But I mean, there were times that I'm like climbing through rocks to like get up.
Oh my, in the dark.
And that was supposedly the easy one in the dark. Well, it was daylight by then. And it took us like probably 4 times longer than Carly said it would take because we are just not experienced at hiking up mountains in the dark.
What?
So we had to keep waiting for everybody to catch up. But the views up there were crazy. It was amazing. So we hung out there for a while and we came back down. That was good. So the next day we are taking on Cathedral Rock. I am doing this. But Tiffany's like, what's wrong? Like in the van, I'm like, I'm just trying to prepare myself. She's like, is it really that bad? I'm like, I saw videos. I don't know. It seems kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. So we set out for this hike, and I did not take my water bottle on this one because it was so intense that I couldn't like hold it, because that Doe Mountain thing that I went up, I was holding my water bottle and I struggled because I'm trying to hold this water bottle.
Oh, and use your hands.
Yeah.
Like, I gotcha.
So all these people are coming down this hill, like not a hill, it's a mountain. And I'm like, if they can do it, I got this. So we start hiking, and Carly, she's just like, whoop, like going up this mountain. I had to crawl on all fours. And my legs aren't very long. So like when most people can like put their leg up there and get it in this little rivet, like I can't.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm trying to climb up this mountain, and it's getting scary because I wish I had videos of this or a GoPro, because I have never been so scared in my life, for my life. I didn't know if I'd make it home, and I'm not kidding. I'm like, if I fall back, I'm done. And Carly's like, whatever you do not look back. And I knew that was true because I get dizzy. So I'm like, if I look back,
My hands are sweating.
I'd be done. So I just am like pushing forward. We're all like in a line. Christy's behind me. And I'm like, I want to see where she's at, but I don't want to look back there because I don't want to get dizzy.
Make sure she's okay.
So then you get to this one part where you have to climb up the rocks. Like you're scaling the rocks to get up the mountain. And I'm reaching as far as my little hand will take me to grab onto something to pull my entire body up. It was insane.
That is so crazy.
It was terrifying.
What? Should you have been like
Probably
clipped
not.
in or something?
Well, you would think so, but it's like people were going up and down this thing like nothing, and I'm like terrified for my life. So I get up to the one level, and Christy and I are like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? So Christy's like, this is crazy. I'm going to walk this way. She falls in a cactus.
Oh.
In a cactus.
Ow.
Did you have to pick stuff out of her butt?
Like it was like her front of her leg. So the one cactus had these really long, like 2-inch prickers, which those were fine. Like we could get those out.
Oh, the
The
little
other one
ones.
were tiny like hairs, and there was hundreds of them in her leg.
No.
So she tries to get up this part of the rock, and we get up there, and you know they're all ready to go, and we're like, she's got like hundreds of cactus like prickers in her leg. So we doubled up our clothes because it was freezing. We were climbing a mountain, or like you know. So she had to pull her jeans down, and we had to pick all of them out, and half of them you couldn't see, so you had to like run your hand along her leg till you could feel it, and then pull it out.
Hope that it was a cactus and not an actual hair.
Oh.
Because I mean,
She better not have hair that long, or that hard and stiff. I
you know-
feel like what's happening? So we got that out, and then Carly's like, "Yep, it's just up over here," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, there's more." So we got up to the flat level, and it was unbelievable. And Carly's like, "There's another path up this way." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like we were at the top, but there was you could go even further, and I'm like, "All right." So her and Melissa went up there. Stacy and her, they walked on a ledge. I'm like, I can't. I'm feeling dizzy. I didn't bring any snacks. I don't have any water, so I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here. And I called Lenny, and he's like, I could see it in the fear in your eyes was unbelievable. I've never seen that. Like, I was.
did you
so scared.
FaceTime him?
Yeah.
Oh my.
And I'm like, I don't know how we're going to get down. I have no idea how I'm getting off this mountain. I may die up here. May freeze to death because there's no way I'm going down. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get down.
Oh.
So how did you get down?
I prayed a lot,
Okay.
but I did a lot of crab walking.
Did you go the same
sliding
way?
on my butt. Yeah.
The same way.
Yep.
Okay.
Because like those spots that I had to reach really high, you had to slide down the rock and hope you don't floop over the edge.
My God.
Okay, my hands are literally sweating right now. Like,
It was crazy.
look at that.
Yeah. When she was sending me those videos, I'm like, well, FOMO is gone. All gone. I'm no longer afraid of missing out. Crystal's dripping right now.
I'm literally dripping from my hands.
It was
just
nuts.
thinking about
All
it, and
of
my
a
feet
sudden,
are sweating also.
Being locked in my house sounds great.
Sounds pretty good, huh?
Coming down the mountain, though, was way easier than going up the mountain. I thought it would be harder, but it was way easier.
Okay.
So when they asked me, would you do it again? I'm like, yeah, one and done for me. I'm nah. But it was crazy because parents were taking kids up there,
Oh my
dogs up there, and I'm like, what?
How did the dog's leg get in the spot that it was
The dog
supposed
was
to
trying to go
be?
down the mountain, whining and crying, and I was about ready to take those people out. It was awful.
Stop.
Like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Then-
Why would you take your kid up there?
Kids were running, and there's like a huge drop off. Like they were just running around up there, and I'm like, I'm sitting down.
Now your butt's puckering, isn't it?
Yep.
It was
definitely is. I'm done.
It was probably 20 feet wide, but then it was like, so here I am, terrified, sitting in the middle of the 20-foot wide ledge that I'm on, and there's kids running around, and I'm like, okay.
That's crazy.
But coming down was easier. So if I were to do it again, I would do it again. I'd be a little bit more prepared, and now I know what to expect. And I would probably take that extra little jaunt up to see the other views that they did. But it was scary. And the only thing I kept thinking that whole time was like, you need to fight to persevere. This is your word. Like, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. So take this challenge, and you are going to get to the top, and you're going to accomplish this. So no matter how scared I was, I'm like, I am getting to the top of this stinking mountain.
And you persevered.
And I did.
Amazing.
So that was hike 2 of the day. And then before dinner.
Wait, there was another one that night?
I would have never made it.
So Christy and I planned this other one because it's called the birthing cave. Okay.
Okay.
So we're trying to get into this birthing cave. And the one lady goes, oh, it's a 2-mile hike from here. And Carly's like, oh, I'm just going to go to the other entrance. It's right off the road. So in my mind, I think it's right off the road. We start hiking and hiking and hiking. and hiking. And I'm like, where the heck is this birthing cave?
Has Carly been there before?
Yes.
Okay.
But in her mind, she moves quick, so it would be not very long for her. But it was a long hike. So we got to the birthing cave. We go up in the birthing cave, and it was like scary too, getting up in there. It's this giant cave. There were people in it, and there was this kid with Vans on, hanging out on the edge, sitting on the edge of the rock.
Ugh.
And I'm like, I'm going to see somebody fall to their death today. Like, what is going on?
Why is it called the birthing cave?
Because it looks like a big vagina.
Oh.
Like the opening or the inside?
The opening.
Have you ever been inside of one?
No. Wow.
So there you go.
How would she know?
So Kim was joking around and was like, we are not letting Kelly and Christy ever plan our day. They're like two Energizer bunnies. It's just not happening. So they can't plan our day. We have to split them up next trip. So it was a lot of fun. We made a lot of memories. It was just good to get away.
crazy.
The sunshine was so good.
There's a picture of it.
I love.
Oh my.
It was beautiful though.
We should post some of those pictures.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of you guys like standing outside of that like that?
Being birthed.
It was just really cool.
That's so cool.
But then I realized when I got there, I'm like, this is why I need to get away in January or February every year.
Yeah.
Right.
I need
so that
the
was
sunshine.
the interesting thing, that it wasn't like really warm for you either.
No.
It was in the
like
50s
in the 40s.
and 60s.
In the morning, it was like 30s.
Yeah. Same.
Afternoon 50s.
And the sun still shined.
Yes.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8 for me. It was pretty cold. Anyway, continue.
And I feel like even at 55, 60 degrees, I was in like heaven. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I was so cold inside of the hotel though. I could not get warm. Like it was ridiculous. I brought one hoodie because again, I was in a carry-on the size of my toe.
Yeah.
And I was very strict on my carry-on because
sure.
Frontier is super strict. Actually, it was not even my carry-on. It was my personal item. And so super strict. And Aaron was like, we are not paying the extra money for it. And I'm like, okay. Like, so I had to like pack it all in there. So I was freezing. And then I got a stain on my hoodie. And I was like, dang it. I'm going to have to wear my crossbody over my stain the entire week. And I did. It's fine. It was fine. But
Everything's fine.
everything's fine. It's fine. Our hotel
man.
was beautiful though.
That was beautiful.
So it was pretty crazy. It was the Renaissance at SeaWorld.
Yeah.
So
Super
it was fun.
cool.
It was cool.
My living room, it's pretty nice. It's pretty
With your blanket.
messy, toys everywhere, you know.
Did the sun shine at all?
I don't know. It snowed a lot. I didn't go outside.
I'm sorry.
But anyway,
We missed you.
We did. We
You
kept
could have
you
been on
engaged.
both of these trips.
We
You could have been
engaged you the whole
hiking
time.
and-
so
You
I
could have
would-
been at Podfest, meeting all the people that I met.
Yeah, I would not have enjoyed hiking.
But not all of us hiked that much. Some of us stayed back at the house and just took naps or chilled, read books.
Yeah.
There was a hot tub.
She's not a hot tub fan.
What?
I just have to share one more story. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to tell too, I think. So go ahead.
Do you want to go first?
No.
Okay. So after we hiked Doe Mountain in the dark, and-
Doe, like DOUGH.
I don't know, that's-
Joe,
Doe.
a deer.
I tripped on that mountain
Oh.
and it was scary. So that was scary. I like tripped and started falling forward and caught myself, and it
What?
would have been like, whoop. Anyway, after that, our muscles are sore. So
Oh, yeah.
Carly's like, you should cold plunge. And I'm like, and Lenny said the other day, you should just do it. I'm like, what? Just do it. She goes, it'll help the inflammation. It's going to help your sore muscles. So we sit in the hot tub for like 40 minutes.
You have to go in the hot tub and then the cold?
She said that's the best way to do it.
Oh.
Oh, well, that's terrible.
So
I
we
would have
s-
just gone for it.
So we sat in the hot tub. Now, the water the day before had ice all over the top of it in the pool. So we get out of the hot tub, and she said, if you put it on your face first, it helps. I'm like, okay. So I put it on my face. Melissa gets in and she starts, ah!
She was very giggly.
Yeah. I get in and it like took the breath. I like took the breath. I don't know how
She can't even
knock
talk about
the wind
it.
out of me. So I'm
breath's gone
in
right
there.
now.
So breathtaking.
It was so cold. It was so cold. And Carly's like, you got to get down your shoulders in. You got to get your shoulders in. Get your shoulders in. I'm like, I'm in enough. Like, I kept bobbing up and down trying to, like, stay warm. And then I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I couldn't even, like, say it. And Carly's like, Kelly, look at me. Kelly, look at me. Kelly, look at me. Kelly, look at me. She was, like, talking me through it. It was nuts.
You were straight panicking.
I
like,
was
from that
panicking.
video.
And she kept trying to, like, calm me down. And poor Carly had to deal with all my crazy stuff, like getting me through the cold plunge, getting me up Cathedral Rock. At some point, I'm like, you have to be behind me. You have to be. I have to have you behind me because you're like my safety net and I need you to push me up. I didn't want her to get too, you know what I mean? So she
far
helped me
away.
get up the mountain. She talked me through the cold plunge. And then she's like, then you just want to like warm up naturally. Like you don't want to like go get in a hot shower or this or that. You want your body to like warm up naturally. She said, so the best thing to do is go get in a cold shower. And I'm like, the heck I won't. I'm going to sit here in this robe and I'll warm up naturally. Then I'll take my hot shower. I am not. Like,
Heck no.
we were in there for like 47 seconds or something,
Sure.
but it was freezing.
So when I was watching the video, I recognized something that I thought was interesting. I have no idea if this is what happened, but I know that you're shorter than they are. Mm-hmm. And when you went in, your head was the only thing that was outside of the water. Your chest was like under the water, but like everybody else was like above the water. And so I was like, is that why she couldn't breathe? Like, did it like freeze your
You're
lungs?
supposed to be down into your shoulders. I think
Okay.
Carly was down, but she was like leaning against the side.
She was leaning against the
Yeah,
side.
I was bobbing.
But I
which
was
probably
like,
didn't
oh
help.
my goodness, she's short. She went under, like she can't breathe. So
Maybe I
just
should
was
have
like
just
weird
gone
about
under.
it.
Holy moly.
Oh man. I mean, I'm thinking about the snow right here. It's like minus 22. I think we should roll in it.
Yeah,
just
no.
saying.
Oh, no.
You're going to video me when I do it?
If you do it, I'll video you.
Okay.
I'm still trying to warm up from the cold plunge.
Amazing. So the first night we were there at the hotel. So like the first night we were in Florida, we spent the night at my parents' house. Actually, we spent the night 2 nights at my parents' house, and then it was Thursday. So Thursday evening, we had to sign up for free tickets to the Buzzsprout meet and greet. So it was like a hangout. You had to have a special ticket to get into this room. It was super fun. It was super amazing. And we got to meet the co-founder of Buzzsprout. So Buzzsprout is our hosting platform that we use to launch and publish our podcasts. So Buzzsprout, basically we load them in there, then it distributes them when we tell it to, we schedule them, and then it goes out to Apple and Spotify and YouTube, all the places. So it was super exciting to meet the people that we subscribe to and like have this service through. So number one, super awesome guy. His name's Tom, and he was telling us like the history behind Buzzsprout. Funny, long story, but started back in the 90s when churches were doing recordings of their sermons and then needed to post them somewhere.
Okay.
And so that's how Buzzsprout started.
Huh.
And then that kind of changed as people were going like live feeds and different things. So then they started doing podcasts hosting. So that was an interesting conversation that we had with him. And he was, again, super awesome. And so they had like free drinks and free food for all of their people that were there and everything. And so we're standing around, and all of a sudden he like starts passing out pizza. And we couldn't figure out like, where's the pizza coming from? Because I wanted pizza. And I'm like, where's this pizza coming from? I'm like looking around. None of the food that they're offering is pizza. I'm like, okay. So Aaron like steps back, and he was like, well, where's this pizza coming from? So he went out in the hallway, and the hotel had messed up the food orders that Buzzsprout had like ordered for this event. So they had to buy like 30 pizzas. Oh my God. But they wouldn't allow them to bring them into the room. So the hotel said, no, you can't bring them into the room. So he had to go all the way to the front of the building, put a couple pieces of pizza, like basically on the outside. So like in the like vestibule area where like the doors are, put pizza on plates and then walk it all the way back down and then pass it out to everybody.
What?
And I was like, first of all, number one, this is like the CEO, co-founder of this hosting platform. Number two was doing this with like the most kind, like pleasant attitude, like amazing. And I'm like, wait a minute. He's literally bringing these pizzas from the vestibule and he's the one who should be in here. So Aaron tried to like help him. He was like, can I do this for you so that you can be in here? And he was like, oh, it's all done now. Because when we were in there, like it had already started. So we didn't know that he had been doing that for like the last hour.
Oh.
So he like brought all of that pizza, like 2 or 3 plates at a time down, passed it out. And I'm like, I love this guy.
Aww.
And then like 4 other times he stopped us in the hallway and was like, talked with us. He loves our concept of our podcast. He thinks that it's going to do good things. Like, he's like, I really do. He's like, it's an interesting concept with 3 hosts and friends. And so I was just like, mesmerized. I was like, I love this guy so much. So
that's awesome.
So that was one of our experiences. And then later on that night, we had, they had like a unofficial meet and greet in the lobby. And we met a couple people there that were super awesome. But yeah.
Nice.
So, and we learned a lot. And we'll have a lot to talk about in the coming weeks.
Yeah, she'll overwhelm us with plenty, I'm sure.
Yes and no. But there was one session that I loved more than anything. And it was the art of storytelling. And there's like she has her whole website about how you tell a story. And I just think that we have so many stories to keep telling that it's a super awesome opportunity for us to like go through it, map out the story and like how to talk it through, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Cool. I also have a really nice bathroom and dining room that I enjoyed.
That you ate at every night.
I did declutter some things.
Yay.
Yes. Well, and I think we got a text message about some self-control note cards you wrote out.
Yes.
So
I was doing some
productivity.
Yeah. I didn't do it with as good of an attitude as Tom did, but handing out the pizza.
Tom from Buzzsprout, we love you.
Thank you for listening to the Calm, the Storm, the Whimsy podcast. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay tuned for our next episode.
Together, we should.
I'm never. No.
You
what?
So do we.
In today's episode, we're going to dive in.
He's gonna be so mad at us.
We've lost it.
We haven't had Easter eggs in a while.
Oh my goodness. We have other episodes that we have to record tonight still.
Yes.
2 more?
11 o'clock.
Let's do this.
No, I'm just saying, like, how are we going to get there?
I want one of those drinks you brought. Okay,
go.
You ready? Okay.